baffles inside the Model 17 Melobro, and I've been asked to do a video on this, and it's tough because I'm not really a dobro player, and you know, we've got everybody who's a critic saying, well, what's your playing style and yada yada, and so I've never wanted to do this, but we're going to real quick just because a lot of guys have asked, well, what does it sound like? And I'd like a sound bite. What's different about it is, of course, this is a fiberglass instrument that we built years ago, and this is my own personal guitar. There's no sound ring in here that holds up the cone. That's all open space. So this gives you a lot of volume because you've got a huge sound chamber. And then the neck is solid mahogany and it runs through the body, and the body actually is arched in the back to allow that to be suspended. And that goes back to a mahogany tail block. So what happens is you get all this vibration, neck through vibration, like a Les Paul does, and we put those wooden plates actually on that so that those plates are vibrating, because we really liked, when we first started building, we really liked the tone. It had a great cut through tone, especially when you're playing with other instruments, but we wanted to add a little bit of wood tone. And I don't know why other guitar companies aren't doing this, because you can take tone woods on that neck through that's suspended through the body, and you can vibrate those tone woods inside the guitar, and you get this really nice voice. You know, and in demoing this, there was a lot of things I was thinking of. One of them, of course, is that how I play, my playing style. You know, I'm not good enough probably to really show the guitar off. Number two, you've got where you put your, you know, picks, because I can get this tone or I can get that tone, as you know, from where we pick if you're a guitar player. And so based on that, I'm going to try to give you as honest a tone change in what's going on here. Now this has a Beard cone in it, which, you know, Paul Beard was buying the Quarterman stuff, and I got to admit, Paul's a good brother and I love him dearly, but I don't think he ever gave us the best cones. He never had the centerpiece right square in the middle. So so we were always kind of, you know, probably starting off with an engine that was, you know, 95% instead of 100%. But we would start with that, and then we'd use a 14 Spider, and of course Beard sold us all those parts. We had the maple with ebony capped saddles and a bone nut, and Paul talked me into the 25-inch scale, which was great. So with that said, let's listen to it a little bit. I'm just going to strum it, and hope that microphone on a little camera is good enough to give you some idea. I'll aim it a little bit at it. You can tell by the volume difference between what I'm talking and how hard I'm picking and how loud it is, maybe. I mean, I can make it a lot louder really easily. This thing will kick. They call it the Banjo Slayer because it has so much volume. It also has a nice, though, tone as far as when you want to... So you've got a good mellow tone, actually. And the cone talks, but as importantly is those wood baffles give it kind of, I feel like, a breathy tone. I usually tune this to E open. It's in G dobro now, but I usually tune it to E open and do more bluesy stuff with my bare fingers because it has so much volume. And I like that kind of soft, breathy tone. We'll get to that later. Right now I want to kind of give you an A-B. So let's listen to this for a couple of chords. It isn't, you know, nasty bitey or anything. And I know that trying to remember the sound of something is hard, and this probably isn't the best demo. Here's a gold tone, Paul's gold tone, and you know, people say, does it sound better than a wood dobro? No. I mean, that's like saying, does a Les Paul sound better than a Strat? These are two different animals. One's a you know, resonator that's built out of resin and fiber. The other one's, you know, plywood. So, but let's listen to this. You hear that has a much more traditional wood tone. volume area and all those things. Now let's go right back to the other one real quick. So to me there's like a brightness in there. Much different frequency. Good sustain, all those things for the way it's built, of course. Now I'm going to go to the bare fingers real quick, just because I have to, just because I think it's kind of cool with that. And it has, of course, we're going to lose a lot of volume here, but move a little closer, Mark. Let's listen to this. Probably not giving it a good enough demo doing that. Let me give you a little bit of flat pick too, because I actually did a lot of that.